Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about my grandparents and how they came to California, and then how my parents met, how I got my name, and then if I have time I'll tell like another little story about me when I was a kid. But so, my mom's parents are from Guadalajara, and they came to California when they were pretty young, and then they had my mom. My dad's parents, they have been together since they were like 15, 16. And at the time, you couldn't get married until you were like 18 or 21. And my grandma was like 2 or 3 months older than my grandpa was. And so he wanted to get married, but his mom didn't want him to get married. So at the time, you had to get a signature from like your parents if you were under the age. And his mom did not want to sign because she's like, you're gonna leave and you're gonna like go somewhere else, and I don't want you to do that. So he's like, okay, I'll just wait a few months. They did that. They moved to California. Is it okay if I like draw something on the board? Like that kind of makes explaining things easier. But my grandparents, so my mom's parents lived in Bellflower, and my dad's parents lived in Downey. So my mom's house was like right here, and my dad's house was like right here. So there was one street in between them, but that street was like the city lines for Downey and Bellflower. So they lived across the street from each other like their whole lives, but they never went to any of the same high schools just because they lived in different cities. So they met because he was the paper boy. And then when they were like, maybe like 19, 20, they met again at like a neighborhood barbecue. So they got reconnected, they dated. She was working at Boeing, he was at Cerritos College doing chiropractic, like school. And then they just worked out and they got married. So then in 1999, they had my brother Cameron, and then in 2000 they had me. And they didn't want to like reveal the gender right away, so they just kind of like kept it a secret until I like popped out. And then, so if I was a boy, I was going to be named Hunter, and then they were like, I don't know what we're gonna name her if it's a girl. So they let my brother name me, because that makes sense. So he loved the show JJ the Jet Plane, and there was a pink plane on there named Savannah, and it's terrifying. If you look at a picture of it, like it's so scary. And they just were like, sure, let's name her after the scary plane. So basically, I've just always been really close to my family just because my brother named me. We've always gotten along because it was a good age gap of 6 years where it's like we weren't fighting, like we didn't have the same friends. It was more like, oh, like you're friends with like my friend's brother. So it worked out a lot. We lived in California all of our lives. We moved from Apple Valley to here a couple years ago. And basically, in conclusion, if you're looking for love, maybe just knock on your neighbor's door. And that's how